from Sailor Moon and Serena, and I'm Sarah Uranus. Amara here, and today someone asked us to talk about Sailor Cosmo, or but I don't really know that much about her. From what I know about her, she's in Sailor Moon, Sailor Stars, but in the book, not in the live drawing show. So I don't really know that much about her. At first, I would think that she was. Well, if I don't know anything about her, then why are we talking about her? Okay. Alright. I'm not gonna, you know. So, anyway, so today we're gonna talk about. Alright. So I was like, yeah. Alright, so if you all know. Uh, Alright, so today we're going to talk about Naoko Takeuchi and Toei and what led to the fallout between those two and how those two started working together again. The kinship between Naoko Takeuchi and Toei started in 1992 when she first started writing the Sailor Moon books. And Toei had gotten the thought of making Sailor Moon into a live drawing show. And keep in mind, the live drawing show was being done right at the same time she was writing the books. Now, this would lead to a lot of freedom between both of them, meaning that the book would be one way, the live drawing would be another way. Unlike Sailor Moon Crystal or Sailor Moon Hearst, which it would actually be follow the book or follow the books. So there was a lot of freedom between both of them. Now, here is where I don't understand. So Naoko Takeuchi and Toei were doing the Sailor Moon, and she was alright with how they were doing the first 4 followings. But by the 5th following, that's when she got mad. That the freedom that Toei may have had to make some shifts in how they were doing a live drawing, apparently the Sailor Starlights, so Sailor Stars is the one that she didn't like out of all of them. Well, keep in mind, if she had a hang up with how all the 4 followings were being done at that time, she didn't say nothing until Sailor Stars. Well, I don't really know all the full thing about exactly what happened, but apparently that Toei and Naoko Takeuchi did not stand on how the 5th following was being handled. I guess in her mind, since it was her work, she felt that Sailor Stars should be like it was in the book. I don't know if that is true or not, but I'm just going to guess and say maybe she wanted Sailor Stars to be more closer to the book instead of what it was. I don't know. Whatever happened, this led to both sides not working with each other and both sides having ownership over Sailor Moon in one way or another. Both sides stopped working with each other. They didn't start working with each other again until 2003 to 2004 when PGSM was made. And yes, there were song shows, and yes, there were plays being done in between those years too. During all that time, and a lot of them did not actually follow the book either. Um, uh, so go to 2014 or go to 2012 or 2013 when Sailor Moon Hearst came out, and Naoko Takeuchi and Toei were working together again. And what I don't really know to this day is what ended up ending it between them. Well, Yeah, you're right, Sailor Moon. I don't really know what actually did it or what ended it between them. Everyone has their belief and thought over what ended it between them. Some say it was how Sailor Stars was done. Others say it was how some folks believe that it was how Pioneer how some folks think it was how Pioneer did the English take on Sailor Moon after they won the rights from Deke. Um, oh, but to this day, no one truly knows. What did it? Or did it actually happen at all? These are beliefs or thoughts, since we don't really know because no one from Toei or Naoko Takeuchi has ever talked about this. So everyone has their guess and belief over what happened. My guess is that Sailor Star they were coming up with their grounds to why Sailor Stars never got any English work done until last year or the year before that. So they were seeking to come out with grounds, and I guess one of their beliefs that they came up with was that Naoko Takeuchi and Toei had a falling out. And if they could come up with that belief, then that's the only belief they could come up with to tell anyone why they didn't why the fifth following didn't get any English work done until years later, why there was no more books, or why there was no more song shows or plays or anything like that. But the truth is, I don't know if there was any falling out between the two sides. Yeah, and you're right, Sarah Uranus. Something does not it doesn't come out doesn't tone right here. I mean, if she was all right with how Toei did the first, the two, the third, the two, the third, the threeth, the fourth, and the followings, then why would she be getting all mad about how they handled the fifth following? I don't know. Keep in mind, Toei did took a lot of freedom when they were doing all the four followings up to the fifth following. They kept some things in, but at the end of the day, they shift a lot of things out. But at the end of the day, there were a lot of shifts between the book and the live and the drawing show, or the live drawing film. Um, so why would she be getting mad at them doing that now, where she would have been getting irked at them or mad at them back then for that? So I don't really know if there was any falling out or not. And if there was a falling out between the two, then how did PGSM get made? How were any of those song shows or plays being made during the time between the time of 2000 up until at least that from until at least two, yeah. And if they had a falling out, it wasn't a long one either. But then again, I don't really believe there was a falling out. I believe that was just someone had come up with the grounds to why they didn't see Sailor Moon anymore, or why Sailor Moon's fifth following never got no English work, or why they never saw any of this or that. So they came up with the belief, I believe, Sarah Uranus, they came up with the belief that there had to be some kind of hang up or bind between each other. Yeah, I mean, you're right about that, Sailor Moon. I mean, if there was a misunderstanding or a fallout between both of the sides, by 2003, while it may have already been healed up. And if it was not, then how would there be PGSM or any of those plays or song shows that were being done during that time? Some folks are going to let you into believing that, oh, it wasn't until 2013 while they worked together again. That was not true. There were song shows and plays that were being done between uh, between 2000 all the way up until now. True, PGSM only had one following, but it was being done during a time too. So I don't really think there was any falling out. What I truly believe must have happened was that Sailor Stars was seen to be, uh, well, at the time, Pioneer lost the right, and no one else wanted to pick it up. Why? Since they wouldn't know how to clean it or shift it up in a way that folks would be happy with. At that time, they still had to do that stuff. So I think that no one wanted to take up Sailor Stars, so they said, well, no one wants to take up Sailor Stars, so alright, all the deals that everyone has are going to come to an end, and that's that. And since Sailor Stars didn't get no English work until years later through the Viz deal, a lot of folks started coming up with their little thoughts and beliefs to why it is. I don't really think there was a falling out between Naoko Takeuchi and Toei. And if there was, well, I never read it anywhere. I never heard it anywhere. You know. You're right about that, Sarah Uranus. I don't know if there was any truth to it or not. I don't know. It was just some saga and tale that someone made up one day and there was no truth behind it. If there was, then why Naoko Takeuchi and Toei never talked about it? Everyone keeps saying, oh, it happened, but where's the truth to it happening? Where are the websteads or anything out there saying about it? Does anyone ever heard Naoko Takeuchi talk about the time that her and Toei had a misunderstanding over how they want to do Sailor Moon and each side walked away? Does anyone have any film or anything of someone from Toei talking about their time where them and Naoko Takeuchi couldn't stand on how they're doing Sailor Moon and went their own ways? Unless there is something out there that's backing this up, but I don't think there is. So I think it was just some saga and tale that someone started up a long time ago to tell why the Sailor Stars didn't get worked on, or why the other books weren't coming out, or why no film games never came out or still haven't come out. Um, why none of the songs, shows, or plays never came out to, you know. But the truth was that a lot of that stuff was still going on during all that time that folks said that they had their breakup. So, it is what it is. I'm Sailor Moon. I'm Sarah Uranus. Hope you like this film.